Vince Lombardi once said, "Football is like life. It requires perseverance, self-denial, hard work, sacrifice, dedication, and respect for authority." My name is Denise Patterson, and some of you may know me as Dee, or as Petty Officer Patterson, or as OS2 Patterson. Today I'm going to inform you about the importance and the weight of responsibility that the ranking system in the United States Navy carries. I have 3.5 years experience in the Navy, as well as education, and with all the research that I've done, I think I would be the best person to give you a smooth presentation through this topic. The ranking system isn't unique to the United States Navy. All in all, I think we all have a boss, someone we have to answer to. I will discuss briefly the differences between the enlisted, chief warrant officer, and the commissioned officer structure and the responsibility that comes with each position. The enlisted is labeled as the worker bees in the United States Navy. The structure of this comes in the form of rate and ranking. And that goes for E1 to E9, and you can see that in the form of collar devices or the lack of one. OfficersGuide.org says that an enlisted member's rating can best be described as their occupational specialty. So that you're not confused between rating and ranking, I'm going to use myself as an example. So I am an E5 in the U.S. Navy, and that is my rank in the Navy. But my rating is Operations Specialist, which is my job in the Navy. So that's how the two differs. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics says that 83% of the workforce in the United States Navy is enlisted personnel. The enlisted personnel are responsible for carrying out military operations that can be seen as in operating, maintaining, and repairing equipment. And they're also responsible for supervising junior personnel once you get into more senior ranks, as E5, myself, to E9. So due to malfunctioning printer, I did have a visual presentation for you guys today so that you can see the different sleeve and collar devices that each enlisted member wears from E1 to E5, and I'll invite you guys to go ahead and look at that after the presentation. As a matter of fact, enlisted supervisors could also come in the form of chief warrant officers. Chief warrant officers, as I previously stated, stems from enlisted members. They're seen as the most senior enlisted, and that's due to not only training, but time in the Navy. They're seen as a resident expert in their field. And they differ from commissioned officers because they have command authority within their special field. The militaryranks.org says that Navy warrant officers usually bring 1 to 30 specialties, which they can specialize, and they perform those skills such as, for example, bosun's mate, surgeons, chaplains, and there's many more. The warrant officers rank from CWO2 to CWO5, and I have their badge and collar devices. They can also be seen here. In addition to warrant officers, commissioned officers are held with very high regard. Commissioned officers give the orders to the helm. or they order the direction within the way they think things should flow. Their ranking goes from O1 to O11. According to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, they make up 17% of the United States Navy workforce. The responsibilities for commissioned officers are they plan, organize activities, they lead and manage enlisted personnel, and they provide military services for personnel such as medical, legal, engineering, and or other fields, because they have degrees, which is what separates them from some enlisted persons. In conclusion, today I told you about the importance and the responsibilities held within the ranking structure of the United States Navy. I've discussed the enlisted community, the chief warrant officers, and the commissioned officers. I believe that my 4 years experience in the Navy makes me, a person that can, tell you what I've learned, because this is my day in, day out experience with dealing with ranking, because we all have to know who we're going to answer to. It's significant to you as my viewers, because learning about the Navy ranking system will help you distinguish between the structure of your job and or any company. Whatever way you think of structure, whether it's football, your job, or anything for that matter of fact, goals aren't achieved without sacrifice and respect for authority. I'd like to play for you this short clip on the Sailor's Creed.
The Sailor's Creed. I am a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me.
The takeaway from that is respect the authority appointed over me. The U.S. Department of Defense explained that military rank as a badge of leadership. So where do you fall in the ranking structure? I would like to thank you for your attention and for supporting me today. Thank you, guys.